Hello again. Welcome back for round 2. Hi guys, thanks for coming back. I think you're very brave to enjoy my approximate use of language. Coffee and Craft, 2nd edition, round 2. Please let me know what you think of these live streams, like what you want to see. Other than, you know, Sam getting more sleep before he does them. That would be helpful for everyone, I think. Anything that I haven't explained, if there's anything you want to know about in particular that you guys know that I can do, please do hit me up before I run these live streams, because I'd be happy to share anything that people want to hear about. Also, I did successfully save that last video, so that extremely embarrassing explanation of everything will be going on YouTube shortly. Probably by the end of the day. It's really funny. My followers on YouTube have no idea about half of the stuff that I share with you guys on Instagram. So all they're seeing is all these like random live streams of me doing stuff that is not related to swords, and they're like, this is not the content that I expected. That's fine. Oh man, just come on, rip straight. Ah! Oh my god, you're useless. It's not true, you're not useless. You serve a purpose. That purpose might not be what you want it to be, but you serve a purpose. There we go. Favorable abuse. Oh, it's really snowing out there. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm wrapping these ends up so that I can use the epoxy without fear of damaging my beautiful fur. And not that I plan to be super messy with it, but it's always a good idea to protect the area that you're working on when you're doing glues and stuff. 60% of painting is actually masking, as anyone who's done prop making should know. Most of the time that you spend painting and detailing stuff is spent covering up the bits you don't want the paint to be on. Better. There we go, guys. The costume's finished. No, I'm not serious. Cool. All the things that I would use to protect my desk are currently being used. I do not wish to go in the cupboard of doom. There this will do. God, it's so bright. No, that's not big enough. What I want to do is cover this area with something... Oh, I know what I could do. I always have a tool board, and my my tool board is also what I would normally use to glue onto. So I'm just going to relocate my tools. I like having tool boards because it clears up your space really fast. So for example, if I want to pull stuff closer, everything's all laid out, right? So, and then I like to have tools on tools. So tool boards on tool boards. So if I want to just pick up all of these, then I can just do that quite easily. And then voila, in one motion I've taken like 5 tools off my work plate. Comments. Oh my goodness, you guys are asking me a lot of things. One moment guys, I'm just going to read these comments. Snow. How long does it take to get used to the weather in Montreal? How do you feel about freezing cold for 6 months of the year? That's really the question here. Honestly, it's not terrible. The houses are really warm here. They're very well built. This window is like 1.5 inches thick. The glass is like pretty sturdy. Leaving the house, if you have a car, it's really terrible. Because your car will inevitably get buried. You have to move it every week when they clear the roads. So if you're a car owner, living in Montreal in winter is kind of sucks. A lot of these people in the city don't use cars though, so, and the metro system is excellent, underground and always heated. Yeah, I love it, but I'm crazy and I love winter. So like I'm kind of sad to think that we're gonna finish with winter soon. Really depends on how you feel about cold, honestly. Yeah, that's my answer. Good luck on your move to Montreal. That's awesome. I am reading comments again. Newspaper. That's a great idea. I could put newspaper down. Alas, I have no newspaper. Oh yes. Yes, I put my glasses back on. Yes, that's right. Cool. So what I was doing was I was moving my stuff off because I want to use this. This is normally what I would be using as a back when I'm gluing. Mostly because I don't like to make a mess. Some people just work straight on the table when they glue. My table is currently covered in a beautiful fabric that is normally on my bed, so I don't really want to get epoxy resin on it. Preferably not. I could take fabric off, but I'll be fine. Shot! I'm gonna glue it to the outside of this. This is not gonna just sit there and be well behaved. So I need something to clamp it in place. Here's something I prepared earlier. But the problem is, I don't know if you guys can see the problem here. when I glue this side, the disc, to the hook, I need to be able to hold that until the epoxy dries. So little cheap clamps. But I know from my test yesterday that this is not going to be long enough. Oh, actually, no, it's not long enough. So what I've done is I've created a thing to extend the clamp. It's just it's from Astoria, little paddle pop stick, tongue depressor, whatever you want to call them. Now what I'm doing is a dry fit. Anytime you're gluing or fastening something, you want to do a dry fit to make sure that you have everything you need, because the moment you start to glue, you don't really want to be messing around with making stuff stay. You want the glue to be in place, not moving around. Yeah, okay, if I'm super careful with it, I think... Yeah, that should work. Cool. So I've just made a little extender here that helps the helps the pressure stay. Yeah, the live stream drinking game. Dead leg. Why? Kalista Tabanak. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm fine. That was painful. Why are you all here, guys? This is horrendous. This is like anti-YouTube material right here. Everyone trying to look all freaking perfect and buff on YouTube, and I'm like, anyway, I'm not gonna go into it. Cool. Now I've got my setup. I'll just make sure I've got the material for the other side. Where's my clamps? One. Oh my gosh. Okay, fortunately that was not something I needed. So what just happened? What? I just catapulted the edge of this and shot something across the room. Just take a moment. Coffee and craft live stream, guys. Do I have everything I need? 20 people tune out at once. Okay, this will be problematic. So I need to make the set sideways. The whole the whole the holes for the the hook to go in need to lay sideways. Y'all need to stop laughing in the comments. They need to sit sideways so that I can hook it when it's finally done. Because if the side hooks are rotated wrong, it's not going to look great. So I need to remember to do that. How will I remember that? I'm going to give myself a little visual aid. Cool. So that's in line. That's in line with the holes. So I remember that they're there. Is that going to be enough? Yes, that's going to be enough. Cool. So my first one was my second. Oh no, where did it go? Oh, it's there. Okay, never mind. So there's my mixing tray. I'm just presetting my hooks so that they're ready to go once my epoxy. I'm like super preparing this. It's not that big of a deal, but it's good to be thorough. So my little mixing tray is actually a meat dish. I like to save them. I usually have like a couple kicking around for things just like this. They're also good for mixing paint if you don't care about your paint. So like when I'm doing like a primer or something, I will use a meat dish. They're very hard to recycle, so I like to use them where I can because, like, basically once they go in the rubbish, they're gonna be landfill. What happened? Maybe someone should fill Calmagetter. Someone should fill them in on what happened. Today might be a good day for a nap. Yeah, after this, unfortunately, I will not be napping. I've got some friends who need a hand with some stuff that's hard for them to do, so I'm gonna be working all afternoon with them. Alas, and even if I wasn't, I would. Today's a training day, so I would be fighting. Perhaps I would fight. What could use that? What I was thinking was I need to mask. Not mask. I just need to cover up the remainder of this, and I think that will work. Yes. Okay. Voila. Yeah, that's gonna work. Just give myself a lot more arm room. I really am obsessive about keeping my space neat when I can. Mostly because when you start to speed up, if you've got stuff everywhere, like, because inevitably you can't keep it clean the whole time, but when you start to speed up, it's easy to kind of collide with stuff and make messes. So I just like having a lot of arm room at all times. Like, this is too close for me right now. I'm going to move that back. Stay. 20 minutes later, Sam actually gets to mixing the epoxy. I'm just checking to make sure that the material is both at the same height, because if one of these is lower and I pour out the same amount, I pour it out with the same pressure, it's gonna mix unevenly. It's meant to be a 50-50 mix. There's some air bubbles in that. I'm just gonna work them out. That should come out when I squeeze. There's no crap in the top. Cool. Where's my mixer? There we go. For mixers, I just cut a piece of laughing at the comments. I just cut a piece of wood. I take a coffee stirrer or something, and I trim it. Let's imagine for a sec that this is my knife. No, I could actually get a knife. No, I'm not wearing it. Oh God, where's my knife? And using a knife, you just cut it up in half, and it gives you a really nice, precise point, which is perfect for stirring. The problem with the rounded edge is you're not going to get into all the material. It's not going to give you as much of a mix, and you end up with uncured sections. All right, that is heaps. That's heaps of epoxy, way more than I need. I don't know how epoxy reacts to polystyrene. I think it's okay. It could start to dissolve my plate, which I really hope doesn't happen. I'm having second thoughts about sharing the first video on YouTube. Dear God. Oh my, okay. That's not going in there very well. Why isn't that going? That's weird. This is the lid that came with the epoxy, but the lid is not actually the right size. It's, the interior hasn't been cleaned out when they cast the plastic, so there's actually stuff inside this that came with it. I'll just pull that back a wee bit so that the epoxy's not coming out the top. Where am I going to put my epoxy? There. Cool. I'm going to mix it. After I mix it, oh, I have paint in this. Oh, my knife. I'm just cleaning the paint off the tip of this stirring stick. All my stirring sticks are in storage right now, in the cupboard behind me. And late last night, when I was getting my stuff ready for the live stream, I did not want to be thumping around moving all my storage boxes. So I only have one stirring stick right now. The rich smell of epoxy resin. That's not eating into the polystyrene, fortunately. Alrighty, that's very well mixed now. What I'm thinking about is which way I want my shields to go. There we go. Excuse me. Yes, I should have thought of this before I'd mixed my epoxy resin, but oh well. Do I want it that way? Or do I want it that way? I imagine that there's going to be more force on the right-hand side because I'm right-hand dominant. So the right side has the stronger hook join. This is the one that hooks in and comes off. So I'll have the side that is more that it's permanently on there on my right. Oh, I'm so glad I frickin' masked that. Bloody hell. I'm sorry. I usually try and make my content PG. Whoops. This is not going well. It's far too... Ugh. Oh, shit. Ugh. It's very gloopy. Ideally, I would have had a second... I would have had a second stirrer with a larger head. This is far too runny. My first one is far too runny for me to attach it right now. So I have to wait for it to solidify a wee bit. It shouldn't take long. The second one's going to go on really nicely, but the first one is very, very sloppy. Okay, that's more tacky now. Great. I was hoping to do both of them at once, but I think I'm going to just have to mix another batch so that I have a better control. Oh, I wish I had a second stirrer. Okay, this will do. Yeah, I just disassembled a peg because I really need a larger head. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I left it. My timing was off. It was too runny and then it accelerated really fast. I just need it to stay roughly. This is terrible freaking... This is a terrible adhesive job I'm doing. Don't do as I do. Do as I say. Freaking hell. The good news is, though, it's really tacky, so it's staying. I don't even need to clamp it. And I can go back with a second pass and fill in the bits that have been missed. Oh. Gah. I'm just going to hold it until it sets. I'd set up the clamps and everything because I thought it was going to take a bit longer, but it's going to cure whilst I'm holding it. Comments. What am I working on? Oops. Sorry, I'm just moving the comments with my knuckle. What am I working on? I'm making a hood. It's this is the bottom half. It is a beautiful. It's the top half. I don't actually know what it's called. It's from like a woman's coat, and I'm turning it into a standalone hood for like medieval style stuff. So I'm joining it with the interior, which is from a different hood. The interior has beautiful fur on the inside, but the exterior looks too modern. So the exterior, this is going to sit inside the one I have up here, which I'm not touching because I have slightly sticky hands. And then the two will sit together. And it's the same hood that I shared in my photos a few days ago, except that in those photos it wasn't finished. It was like all in pieces. So I'm attaching these little discs as cloak pins to hold it together. What is it for, Marin? What is it for? It is for Bikalin. And, you know, just general going about town, that kind of thing. Yeah. This should be stuck. Yes. Okay. More coffee. Plus de café. Still good. Oh, come on. Yes, Marin, we would love to have you back at Bicolin. In 2 weeks' time, the biggest event of the year that is not related to fighting is going to happen. We've got something called the Purple Ball coming up, which is it's the big geopolitical meeting of all the important people in the countries. All the countries have like meeting rooms where people discuss business, things are voted on, and then for the rest of the populace, they just have a party basically. It takes place in a gigantic mill, an old mill in Shawinigan, which is a town in Quebec, north of Quebec City, and it's really, really fun. I went last year, and it's a masquerade ball as well. Excuse me. Although most people don't tend to wear masks. About halfway through the night, all the masks come off, which to me is kind of dull. Like, do it or don't do it. If you're gonna say you're gonna have a masquerade ball, you should have a masquerade ball. But I think people are just not used to wearing stuff on their faces, so that's why the masks come off as they get more and more inebriated. Oh my goodness, my language has come back. The entertainment value of the podcast has just been reduced. Podcast, live stream. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. I'm still imprecise. So yeah, the Purple Ball. The Purple Ball will take place in the game of Bicolin. The story of Bicolin. The ball will be taking place in the city of Sands, which is very like Arabian Nights in feel. That's very loud. That is a bulldozer clearing snow. Yeah, so the city of Sands is in the far east. It's a whole province. No, it's a country. I'm sorry. It's a country that's surrounded by ocean on two sides and mountains to the north and neighboring tribal lands to the south. There's a sultan. There is a big city in the middle of the desert, which the country is named after. The city is called Jabahal, and the bowl is going to take place there. The city is located... Where's my... Aha. The city is located around an oasis, and there is a philosopher's stone there that is the source of the city's prosperity. So there's a philosopher's stone that generates great abundance in the middle of this kind of harsh desert, in the form of an oasis. There's special resources that are available. For example, in the whole of the continent of Bicolin, apparently Jabahal and the city of Sands is the only place that has a gold mine, which is a source of enormous wealth in the resource aspect of the game, because Bicolin is a resource-based game. So that gives a monopoly, obviously, to them for like distributing resources. So the Sultan, who's an NPC, is a very, very wealthy character in the game, and the city of Jabahal is also very wealthy, which conversely contributes to great poverty in the city as well. So it's like kind of side by side, these enormously wealthy individuals living right next to people in abject poverty. It's super cool, the story. So the event of the Bal Pop, the Purple Ball, is going to take place there this year. It was in Dinant last year, which was the country that we liberated from the Empire. It was a massive liberation party. So this year it's City of Sands. My character doesn't like to stand out, so he is going to look very Prince of Persia in his appearance. I already have my costume sorted, which I will not be posting ahead of time because the whole point of... Oh my god! Get back on there. The whole point of being in disguise is that people don't know what you're wearing. So yeah, I'm not posting my costume photos ahead of time, but I found an awesome few things from the thrift store that have just like nailed the look of like Arabian Nights, kind of Prince of Persia, which will yes, shot, which will really look good. Like yeah, it's a really awesome. It's a really awesome costume. Because most of my other costumes, like I could wear anything, but a lot of my other costumes I've already shared, and people now know what I look like in them. So unfortunately, I have a lot more notoriety than I want. I'm going to keep talking about Bicolin because this is not set yet. However, I've also mixed more epoxy, so I'm just going to add another amount of epoxy to it. Okay, that is far more workable. The first time that I applied this, it was so runny, it went everywhere. But now it's like toothpaste consistency, which is perfect. That's what I want. I don't mind if it drips through because I can just trim it with a blade. So I'm applying it, and there's all these holes in the back of the discs, so it's kind of coming through. Yeah, so if the epoxy resin runs through the front, I'll just come back with a scalpel or something. Oh yeah, that's going on nice. Excellent. I'm going to town with this epoxy resin. Questions? People saying goodbye. Goodbye, people. Love you. Folks, you should check out Embercraft Creations. It's my friend Marin. She does amazing, beautiful Viking and Nordic themed costume. So, yeah. Also, Ravenna, thanks for joining. Really awesome. No, but dude, like, you earn the praise, Marin. It's your work is phenomenal, and I'm loving your Instagram. Are you going to stay? I feel like the moment that I step away from this, it's gonna fall apart, which is why I have clamps. I'm going to mask my clamps. My concern is that my clamps are going to get stuck to the epoxy, but if I use my super shitty masking tape, maybe it will not. Aha! Oh no. Oh no. It's rotated. Okay, that was a close call. Stay. Yes, it is. Okay. Excellent. I'm watching it to make sure it doesn't slip off. Because what I really want to do is be able to do the second one at the same time. It's not perfectly in line, but it will do. Gosh, I can't believe I just said that. Do I have time to rotate it? Yes, I do. Okay. Okay, now it's in line. Good. It's at the resin is at this really nice point now where I can actually wiggle it and adjust it without breaking the bond. Cool. I really hope that that stays. Yeah, looks in order. All the praise. Thank you, Marin. I'm going to mask this fur some more because I don't trust how runny that resin is. And yes, newspaper would be awesome at this point. I don't have any newspaper though. Okay, that's better. Comments. Triumph. Yes. Cool. That is a lot more safe. I'm more comfortable with that now. Are you staying? Yes. Excellent. Cool. I'm gonna work from it this way. Work on it this way. Cool. I can also see how my how much my epoxy has set by testing in here. So that's pretty on there now. So I know that this is almost dry. Excuse me. This is a peg because I was missing my stirrers. Just grabbed a peg and disassembled it. don't like mixing on a pre-existing area because it can rip what you've got dry down there and pull it away. It gets messy. So I'm going to just choose a patch that I haven't mixed on already. But first, I'm going to trim this down a bit more. You'll notice that I'm moving the object, not my knife. My knife is anchored to my hip, and I'm just pulling against it with the material. I've definitely had a conflict with other makers about whether you move the object or the tool, but for something like a knife, and just pulling epoxy off a surface, I'd much prefer to do it this way. Oh my goodness. There is a dog out there with its feet wrapped up in little booties. Ah, so cute. Because there's a heavy snowstorm out there. Cool. Do I want to trim this too? I'm gonna trim my stirrer as well, my mixer. I'll need to clean my beautiful Spyderco knife later because I've just abused it with epoxy resin. Albeit dry epoxy resin, but still that's not what it was built for. Ah, that's set. I'm going to leave the clamp on there though, just for a bit longer, just to make sure it's on there. Cool. Way more than I need, but better too much than not enough, I say. Okay, that is really mixed. I'm going to give it a moment so that it's more gloopy. That guy is really doing a good job cleaning his car. He's been at it for about 10 minutes. Almost there. I want it to be toothpaste consistency. It's a little too runny right now. Reading comments. How's the coffee? I will have to find out. It might have changed in the last 45 seconds. Well, it's a Colombian dark roast, so it is bitter. It's black. I take my coffee black, usually. It is got a very nice mouthfeel. The coffee is smooth and rich. It's not as warm as it could be. but it's still very pleasant. Thank you for asking. Aha. Okay, this is runny toothpaste. Okay, when my stirring stick can stay up in it, I'm going to start working with it. Black coffee retains the original taste. Yes, it does. It does. Although there's some really nice espressos, not espressos, lattes that I've had that have had a very lovely flavour. I went off drinking cow milk in coffee a long time ago because I moved from New Zealand and the coffee just isn't as good here. Because in New Zealand, when you ask for a coffee, it means a flat white. It means like a latte. Like if you say I want a coffee, someone will go get you like an espresso with milk, frothed milk. Like that's a coffee in New Zealand. So like it comes with milk in it already. And if you want a black coffee, you have to say I want an Americano because it's black in America. And that's the standard coffee. Like here, if you say you want a coffee, someone will come along with a pot and like tip some percolated coffee into your cup, which is kind of horrifying if you're expecting a latte. So it took me a really long time. I was mourning the loss of what I call good coffee for a really long time when I moved over this part of the world. Yeah, I started drinking coffee black because I just couldn't get good lattes. And the milk is different. The milk is really different. However, in Quebec, they have a really strong Italian culture. So the is that your preference? Dark roast, is that your preference? Yes, I really like dark roast. So yeah, there's a really strong Italian culture here. It's like the second largest hipster community outside of New York. So yeah, there's tons of good coffee here, which is like espresso, not espresso. Yeah, black coffee. Yeah, I guess that's espresso, isn't it? I'm not a coffee expert. I drink it. I enjoy it. Yes. Aha! Oh no! Oh no! Okay. I can still work with this. Oh dear. Oh dear. This is a matter of seconds as to whether or not I can get this to stay. Wow. I just caught that in time. I'm going to have to go back over it with a second layer. But that was almost set. Wow. Yeah, I can actually work with it with my fingers now. Which you shouldn't be able to do when you're gluing epoxy. Like, it's like gum now. But it's on. Standing on by itself. So I will hold it there. It's not on as I want it to be, but it's on. Oh, shit. Okay, the second pass should secure it. Yeah, it'll be okay. Ooh, it's warm. That's what it looks like. Cool. Final pass. Aha. I keep forgetting where I put it, and I keep putting it back in the same place. I please have a time check, folks? Can someone tell me how many minutes past the hour it is in wherever you are? $12:30. Thank you. I will need to go very soon because I promised myself to my friends for the afternoon. And I will need to make tracks pretty soon. Ah yes, that's working nicely. There's a nice gassing epoxy resin. There's a nice wee hole on the back of these hooks, which the epoxy is sinking into. So once it's a solid piece, there's going to be almost a mechanical join because there's a hole that the epoxy is sitting in. So the epoxy will stick to itself as a solid piece, and it will sit. Oh no, there's an air bubble. I need to get that out. Yeah, it will sit inside that hole in that depression, and make a stronger join. Oh, that was my stomach. My stomach is very sad. It has not been nurtured lovingly as it so deserves. Wow, I'm really going to town with this resin. Oh, yeah, it's falling on my MDF. I don't want that. So I got cut off there, but I've come back just to wrap up and show you kind of how it's going to finish. The epoxy's now set. I have a small problem in that the the stuff that's come through to the other side is quite solid. Like really on there. So I'm gonna have to cut that with a chisel or a scalpel or something. It would have been much better if I'd done it whilst it was tacky, but I'm recording this many hours later after my actual live stream, so it's pretty solid now. So I'm just gonna see how hard that is. Okay, so it moves pretty easily. I feel like I need safety glasses. They're in my sword bag. no, it's coming off pretty well. That's good. Very loud bulldozers. Cool. So that's actually come off pretty easily. It's good to do this before the masking tape comes off because I don't want little pieces of dried epoxy like flying into my fur, sticking there and itching me later. So I really should have safety glasses though. This is kind of flying everywhere. So the way that I've attached them to the snaps, they're setting up like this, but the snaps actually close. So they'll fold down like that into a closed position. And the strength of the chain, my hope is that the strength of the chain will keep them kind of flat instead of falling down. So it'll look something like that, obviously without the green masking tape, and it'll sit a little further down because the end of the hood will be tucked underneath the cape. But yeah, once this masking tape is removed and this piece is attached to this, which honestly I still have to figure out how I'm going to do that, because I think the best thing will be if I sew it. I don't really have a choice on that, but I'm going to do a bit of experimentation to see what the best solution is. So no doubt I'll be posting the final result on Instagram, so if you guys follow me there, you'll be able to see how it turned out. So I just wanted to follow up and wrap this up, and thank you all for watching. I'm doing a lot of live streams these days on Instagram, so I'm sharing them on YouTube. They're a little informal, as I'm sure you've seen, but I tend to have fun with it, so I really hope it's been useful, and maybe given you some ideas for crafting, or shown you an approach that maybe you hadn't thought about. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Have a good one.